Each of our old houses has a simple crane or hoist beam on its gable, as it was common for centuries. We already used the left one for bringing up timbers some years ago. We didn't use the built-in pulley of the beam, but attached an extra pulley that ran more smoothly. While making the new roofs, I inspected the hoist beams. The left one is still okay, but the right one here has only had 2 rotten boards as a cover against the rain, so it was in an accordingly bad shape. I decided to take it out and make a completely new one. My intention was to duplicate it exactly, but then I realized that in fact it didn't fit to the house at all. Comparing with the position of the color beams, I saw that this beam was made for a different house. Obviously, it was reused here and was very crudely fitted in. The outer pulley was relatively well preserved, so I could reuse it. But the inner pulley seemed a bit odd. It sat upon the beam in an improvised mount. Its original position, of course, was in the slot in the beam. The holes for the shaft prove that. But even then, the pulley is way too small and it doesn't have the right shape either. I thought it would be best to make a new pulley in the dimensions of the outer pulley. In my lumber storage, I found a suitable piece of ash and gave it a rough shape on the bandsaw. The rest is, of course, a job for the lathe. I drilled a hole big enough for a 20mm shaft. Then I closed the hole again with dowels so that the Foster drill could be properly centered. That's for inserting some ball bearings. Invisible in the end, but a huge improvement regarding the friction. Then I had to find a suitable beam to replace the old one. This one is a reclaimed and battered old one, so it will blend in perfectly in the old attic. An interesting detail here: wooden pegs or nails left over from when this timber was rafted from the mountains on the river Iller. They used these pegs to hold transversal timbers in place, binding several parallel logs together. Now the making of the through mortises for the pulleys. This loop is meant to guide the rope behind the pulley. I transferred it to the new beam in the same position. The shorter part of the hoist beam that will protrude from the gable will be the same color as the boards and paneling there. The inner part only needs some linseed oil varnish. The old front cover of the hoist beam was shaped in a special way. I didn't understand exactly why, but copied it nevertheless. Maybe it's some sort of traditional style. I made a new little roof as well, but of course it will need a proper sheet metal cover this time. And I will need some riser blocks because the collar beams are a bit too low for the hoist beam. Unfortunately, the roofing company has removed the scaffold in the meantime, so I had to use a work lift. Difficult thing to get the beam around all the cables of the street lamps. But in the end, the mounting of the new hoist beam was really easygoing.
Hey, it's passed.
Especially inserting the outer pulley and the rope and attaching the little roof was much less difficult than I had anticipated. On the inside part, I used the riser blocks to fix the hoist beam onto the collar beams. Then I inserted the inner pulley. So everything is ready now for hoisting up something. Maybe there will be another video about that.